Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Friday, the 15th of May. All right, now a little bit of political jostling between, or from Trump basically towards China. I'll show you that news in a minute. But basically, I think a lot of traders got caught out yesterday thinking, the US dollar was about to go through a big move. And that sort of left, and what really happened was the dollar index has broken high here, as you can see, just above 120. Bit of weakness in euro and sterling will do that. But overall, when you have a look at the rest of the pairs, most of them have sort of drifted back into the range. And as I said, caught a lot of traders out. US equity markets up a little bit. Okay, no major things to look at there. As I said, just coming back to those technical levels, it did look like we were set for a good run on the US dollar to the top side, if I can get my words out. Aussie was cruising down, so was Kiwi. Everything's sort of a slow little counter rally. I don't think the Kiwi, I think still, to me, Kiwi and sterling are the two pairs with sort of clear downside direction. The rest of the pairs are sort of just cruising around. Like, check out these breaks here, either side of the market. Very common when you get those support and resistance contracting into a sort of wedge. Usually get a break to the top side, break to the downside, takes out all the stops, and we're back to where we were, pretty much along those lines. And dollar yen, well, you know what? That sort of little cruisy downside move we saw earlier in the week was corrected there as well. So really no major changes from yesterday, right? Let me just bring you across to the FX Market Insight. So what you'll see is with the major pairs, as I said, there's not much of a change. The majors are trading technically quite well. We're just not getting that consistency with momentum. And that's because of all the various geopolitical events, right? And I'll show you that in a second. Trump is building up towards, breaking ties with China, and that's going to create other trading issues for us, I think, on Aussie and Kiwi and the Yuan. But the active pairs for me at the moment are still sterling and Kiwi. You've got to be patient, though, and wait for the rally to sell. Looks like Kiwi's already given us that opportunity. I sort of missed that bounce, but it's come right back to the trend line. Now, sterling is sort of the analyst pick still. This chart, there's no need to update the chart. It's the same pair that we were looking at previously. Now, I'm thinking that we are going to start to see, I've deleted this first trend line, so we'll be working off the resistance trend line. See this thing move lower once again. There's no real change. The UK looks like it's in the doldrums, like the coronavirus doldrums, and that's going to maintain. The rest of the pairs here, right, the watch list pairs, really solid sideways activity, right? Even those small momentum moves up and down on a few of the pairs, I think down for dollar yen, up for dollar CAD, they have been corrected, and we are really sitting here waiting for something to happen. It's a shame we don't have momentum because we got good support and resistance lines across the board. We just don't have that clear direction at the moment. That's primarily because the US dollar isn't really giving us any leads. Now, looking at where momentum may come today, you get US retail sales and the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment numbers. Now, the fundamentals, I tell you what, we've seen a bit of an impact in Europe and in the Aussie and Kiwi on the numbers. So just keep an eye on those. We may start to see the fundamentals come into play. But outside of that, what we're really looking at, this is why momentum is so skittish and inconsistent, is we're looking at the news, right? And there's only geopolitical news, not much coronavirus news. That was sort of, the fear was building through the week. We haven't seen that. The media outlets have all switched over to the feud. Trump is trying to pick a fight with China and cut them off. Now, it's hard to read into what's real and what's not with Trump. We'll have to wait and see what China come back with, but it's dominating the news across the board. And outside of that, there's not much else happening. I would expect over the weekend we'll get more coronavirus updates of an increase in infections as a lot of the lockdowns are rolled back. Or if there's not, things could be looking a little bit groovy. But, a lot of animosity in the US regards the rollback of the lockdowns. Quite a few states rolling back aggressively, some not at all. So we'll have to see how that plays out as well over the coming week or so. So outside of that, I'd really be watching Aussie and Kiwi today, especially Kiwi. Obviously, I mean sterling during the European session. I got to sort of. I've been out surfing this morning. I'm so knackered I can hardly speak. And that's pretty much it. There's not much else to really track. You can't make these things move when you want them to. So just relax, let them give you the opportunities, and we'll play it from there. If you're looking to, if you're a little bit bored, scroll down through the calendar at the bottom here. We've updated the calendar. There's, you know what, if we had normal market conditions and the coronavirus wasn't an issue and Trump and China and stuff, we've got a huge week of data coming out, okay? CPI, UK, Eurozone, Canada, there's a whole bag of goodies in there, but I don't know what's going to impact. We'll have to wait and see when we get to next week. All right, guys, have a good day. Cheerio.